There we go. Let's watch this video together, and you tell me. Am I overreacting?
Ronnie from Red Jumpsuit here, just doing like a quick little PSA. I thought I was pretty clear about all this stuff in 2020. Look, man, the thing about being woke is you're awake. And once...
Let's forget that being woke is universally recognized as being synonymous with being asleep, Ronnie. You're asleep. I love you, but you're asleep.
You're awake, you can never go to sleep. And not only has nothing changed, but everything they said was going to happen, the woke people, has happened.
Everything the woke people said was happen has happened. Biden was demented. Kamala didn't win. COVID came from a lab. 2020 election was stolen. What were the woke people right about? I'm totally willing to eat my words, but what the fuck have they been right about? Because as far as I'm aware, they haven't been right about shit. Even down to, the whole everybody's a Nazi campaign, the very fine people hoax. What have they been right about, man? What? What fucking thing have they been right about? Nothing.
So... here it is again, in case somehow you missed it. Hi, I'm Ronnie Winters. I sing for the Red Jumpsuit Apparatus, and I actually follow what Jesus says.
Remember those words, all right? Listen to the rest of this video and tell me that he really listens to Jesus. He's a Jesus follower.
If you're a Christian and you're watching this and you voted for Donald Trump, shame on you.
Forget the fact that this fascist is saying that he doesn't respect your democratic right to vote. Forget that for a second. If you voted for Trump, shame on you. Shame on you for exercising your democratic rights, because I like to espouse fascist ideology while living like a fucking communist. All right, let's just keep going.
You are not allowed to come to my shows. I don't want you there.
The fuck are you gonna do about it? You gonna send the brown shirts out to check people's voter registrations, you fucking fascists? You're gonna send people out and you're gonna say, let me see your papers.
Come to my shows. It's awesome that you love Face Down. It's not for you.
You don't get to determine what's for me. All right? And that's the thing. I can separate the art from the artist. You will never take away the decades of time that I've spent listening to this music. You will never take away the fact that this music saved my life. You will never take away the fact that Face Down was a huge part of my adolescence. You cannot take that away from me, and I don't know why you'd want to.
If you voted for Donald Trump, do not come to my shows, or ever, not just like these 4 years. Don't come to my shows because you're going to hear a lot of woke propaganda.
See, that's the thing too. I went to his show. Not only did I enjoy myself, but he was talking about how I'm not popular anymore because I say the truth. I was really encouraged by that. I really was. And being in the crowd and being there and just like hearing what he had to say was beautiful and profound. And I found that as a Trump supporter. So you would think he would want to expose the message of Jesus Christ to as many people as possible. And in his perfect world, that would convert them to his, political religion. But this is just a giant virtue signal. You can't enforce this unless, you're going to send brown shirts out to investigate people in your crowd, make sure they show your voter registration, make sure you go to their houses, and make sure they're not flying Trump flags. And then when you find out, you're going to make sure that they know you're not welcome at my show.
And you're going to hear like the actual words of Jesus. You're going to see a lot of acceptance.
Yeah, the actual words of Jesus. You're right. There is something in the Bible about if you want to vote differently than I do, then you're not welcome. You're not a follower of Jesus.
From all areas of life and races.
You know where else you're going to find people from all areas of life and races? In the fucking Republican Party. In the right wing, man. You know what else? What really bothers me about this? This is a movement that grew from the basement. We were the nobodies. We were made fun of. We were spat on. We were disrespected. We were told that we were losers. We were fucking scum. We were all this nonsense. And then we made it. And you know who helped you make it? By the way, my guy, the people who carried your instruments, cooked your food, drove your tour bus, bought your CDs, and now you're telling them, fuck you, because you voted for Trump? You're telling them you're not Christ-like, you should turn yourself over to Christ? How the hell are you being Christ-like? Don't you want to bring people to Christ? And again, I could separate the art from the artist. All of us who were in this from the beginning were in this because we needed something. We needed to belong to something because we didn't feel like there was anywhere else to turn. And for this guy to now sit here as if he's some beacon of morality because he doesn't want Trump supporters at his show. Again, no way to actually enforce this. This is just his virtue signal to the retarded. This is his virtue signal to the people who, will cheer this on, and it won't matter. They'll just lie. Think about all the bands that were at Warped Tour, guys. Think about all of the bands who have been around for decades, people who are new. You think none of them voted for Trump? Or do you think that people like Ronnie over here shame them into silence and don't even allow a conversation? Because Jesus welcomed everyone. All right, Jesus brought everyone to the table, and I would argue that the side that's talking about killing babies and all that, maybe they've missed the mark a little, but at least I'm willing to have a conversation. There's no right-wing person that I know that wouldn't be entirely willing to have an honest and real conversation with a left-wing person, especially a guy like this. You've got an audience that worships the ground you walk on. I would be lying if I didn't say it hurt my feelings a little bit. It absolutely did. What do you know? You don't. You think that people just woke up one day and decided, all of these nonsense tropes about oh, well, Trump hates the Jews. No, he doesn't. Trump hates the blacks. No, he doesn't. Trump hates the gays. No, he doesn't. None of these things are even slightly able to be substantiated. But people like this guy will make it their entire religion to pretend that it is, and then he'll still claim the veil of Christianity. He'll still say, oh, look at me, I'm being so Christ-like. I'm going to make my space a safe place, and we're going to keep the Trump supporters out.
You're just going to see a lot of, harmony, okay? That's not what you're about, okay?
Harmony.
Don't come. Refunds are available. Forever don't come. Goodbye.
Forever don't come to my show if you voted for Trump. I'm such a harmonious guy, and I'm such a loving man of Christ. But if you voted for Trump, I don't respect your right to your Democratic vote. I don't respect your right to have your own opinion. If you don't think just like me. And that's the problem with the left. And that's why I fled the left faster than I've fled anything in my life. Because the biggest red flag for me when I started getting actually interested in politics, and I wasn't just a mouthpiece who thought I knew one way or the other, because I watched the news and I knew. There is no peace with people who won't even have a conversation. And if you're talking to somebody about any subject whatsoever, be it the Civil War, be it, Trump, be it, whatever, the fucking Holocaust. If you're not allowed to talk about a subject, you should be wondering why that is. When you're not allowed to bring up subjects, when you're not allowed to have conversations, or else it's too dangerous, it's because they don't want you to see the other side of the argument. It's because they know that their side of the argument is so flimsy that when you present actual facts, even when you allow there to be a discussion, common sense will prevail. And common sense is not on their side. So what they do is they say, they're a Nazi, they're a denier, they're a this, they're a that, they're a phobe, they're a fill in the blank. And that's how they win the culture war. They demonize you before you even enter the arena, and therefore there's no point in listening. And it feeds into their own delusional laziness too, because they don't need to hear it. They've already been told everything they need to know. You're a dangerous person. You're a bad person, according to these guys. And I just can't live like that.